Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of Real Estate Fanatics. Today we're going to talk about the 3 systems that started my business to success and still are in existence today. If you want to know how to run your business at the highest levels, stay tuned for more. However, before we begin, click the subscription button below, click the notification bell, click the like if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you want to talk to me about anything and everything, nothing's really off limits, hit me up on my link below, which is calendly.com/Mike Nelson IHG. It'll be posted here. Click it, set up an appointment, talk to me about anything you want. Happy to discuss that with you. So, what is the magic potion? What is the secret sauce in what we need to do as business owners in real estate in order to be successful? What are the top 3 systems? Hey, I'm here to tell you, it is nothing super new. It's nothing super creative. Stay tuned, because I'm going to get into the details of it. Yet it's really starting off the basics. If you don't know the basics, it's like math. When you first start mathematics, I should say, if you don't know how to add, you're not going to know how to divide, you're not going to know how to do equations, things of that nature. Yet you still have to know how to add while you're doing the equation. So you've got to really start with the fundamental things. Fundamental 1, you better figure out how to time block your schedule. From day 1, the biggest misnomer I have heard in real estate is, hey, I can have a flexible schedule. You've heard me talk about that in past videos. Yes, you can have a flexible schedule, but it better be documented, it better be controlled, it better be prioritized. Because if it's not, you either have a choice. You don't have a flexible schedule, or your business is not going to be to the success that you desire it to be. So I'm going to go into a little bit about that. Calendaring is number 1, is where I would start. So when you first get your license, I'll talk 2 different aspects of people's careers. So number 1, new agent. I promise you, if you're in a highly trained environment like a Keller Williams or an EXP or any of those, you're going to be immersed and fire hosed with training. I mean, how do I use the MLS? How do I write contracts? How do I talk to people? How do I convert people? How do I get leads? How do I do a buyer consult? How do I listen consult, right? You're going to just get hammered with stuff you need to learn. However, if you spend 40 hours a week for 5 months of your first year doing training, good luck with that. So my point to the message is figure out what's the ideal schedule. Get with a mentor. I have the ideal schedule. It's not perfect for everybody. Yet if you want more, just go ahead and notify me, let me know, put something in the comments, hit me on that Calendly link, shoot me an email, whatever. However, it better be lead generation. It's your number 1 priority. If you got no business, and that's the first thing real estate agents want to run from, is like, I don't want to lead generate. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to try to get them to do business with me. They should just be calling me. Yeah, okay, good luck with that. See how that works. So anyways, what I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about is that calendaring thing, because as you become more experienced, the other thing I see is agents doing 25, 30, 35 deals or more. If they don't have a good grasp of their calendar, guess what happens? They're burned out, they're tired, they don't want to do production anymore. Why did I get into this business? But yet us new agents are sitting there going like, wow, what a life that would be, do 30 or 35. I'm in my first year and I've done 5. That's great. However, if you learn the basics of how to say no and how to build your calendar effectively, it's going to be a lot more beneficial to you later on, because you're going to have built the habits of saying no, of putting what's important to you first, right? Prioritize your things. Not everything requires a priority. An agent walks into your office and wants to bullshit and talk about the coffee pot and all that stuff. It's not your priority. It's not in your calendar. It gives you an easier way to say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. I've got an appointment that's on my calendar that I'm working on. It could be lead generating, it could be role playing, it could be anything. So anyways, it sounds boring. I know we're looking for the sexy, but the reality of it is learn how to control your schedule, learn how to do your time. Your family will appreciate that, your clients will appreciate that, things of that nature. I can't tell you how many large producing units are miserable in their job because they don't control their schedule. They just fly at every whim of phone call that comes in, a client's complaining, whatever, right? You just got to control your schedule. The number 2 thing is the database. Too many times we look back after years and go like, geez, imagine where my business would be today had I had a database and had I had a system to stay in touch with the people that I was having in my database. Promise you, it happens a lot. So with that being said, I'm really interested in putting you on a path of a database. The minimum you have to have contact information. It's easy to say, like lead gen and all that other stuff. A database is a database. However, having that database is going to be critical, because if you're feeding it and have a system behind it, you're communicating with it very consistently, it will grow and it will provide you business. The problem is we don't look at it as quick, sexy, instant business. Yet look at your 401k. If you're familiar with a corporate world 401k, that's how that works. It is more beneficial in a 401k's world at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years when it compounds. It's not the first $200 you put into it, right? It's lifetime. Real estate, fortunately, doesn't take 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But yet we look at a lot of times as like, well, I want business tomorrow, so a database doesn't really work. Well, yes, it does, but it works a lot better after you've fed it and you've talked to it over a year, 2 years, things of that nature. So that's my number 2 thing. My number 3 thing is sources of leads. Figure out where your business needs to be. I can't give you a specific system because my coaching is around what do you desire to do? Is it internet leads, which are like a 3% conversion? So out of every 100, you get 3 deals. It's not sexy. It works. However, it takes a lot of follow-up and a lot of conversations and a system and a CRM and things of that nature. So my point is, find your path. Could be open houses. Yet don't just fly by the seat of your pants and be like, well, I'll just do an open house. Oh, I don't have a listing. Oh, all new agents are asking for all the experienced agents' listings. Just go do it. Go find it. Go talk to people. Cut out the excuses. Go find solutions to your problems. I'm a big believer in that. So there's a million other ways to lead generate. The other thing I'm going to do is say, find your top 3. Focus on your number 1, prioritize it, then get to number 2, then get to number 3. Don't do 22 things in a year. Commit to 1 to 3 lead gen sources. I'm going to tell you, database should be your number 1 source. It may not pop right away, but then find something that has instant business. Is that FSBOs? Is that expireds? Is that open houses? Is that door knocking? What is it, right? What are you comfortable doing? I have people that really love door knocking. I have others that can't stand it. I encourage them to do them all so they at least know through experience whether they like it or don't like it, instead of this little negative Nancy in our mind like, ooh, that's scary, that's freaky, like why would I go knock on doors? People are going to yell at me. Get real. Right? Go do it. Yeah, you're going to have some that are like that, but the vast majority are not. The other thing with that is I like to be able to look at not only door knocking, but the expireds and the FSBOs. And when we kind of get into those realms, it takes experience. It takes practice. I say experience and learning, practice, scripts, role playing. You don't just pick up the phone and call a few people and be like, yep, those 5 I called didn't work, nobody answered, so click. And that's what most real estate agents do. They're just like, don't care, right? I tried. Then they bounce on to the next thing. 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 And it goes on and on and on. Those things all work. They really do. They only work though if you put intention behind it and you focus in on it and you do the daily tasks that you have to do. That's where we fail. Most of us don't want to do the daily consistency. Internet leads, 3 out of 100. And 3 out of the 100 is considered pretty good. And that 3 out of 100 isn't in the first 30 days. That is an internet lead that takes 6 to 9 months. But imagine if you got 100 leads per month, 3 converted. Yeah, you're not talking to all 100 of them. People aren't going to answer. You'll have a system to get rid of them. You'll have a system to follow up with people if you're doing it the right way, right? But most people give up after a month or 2. They're like, 100 people I called this month and only 10 actually were what I'll call nurtures. Cool. Keep nurturing them, because 10 that month turns into 10 the next month, 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 which then if 3 of those 10 pop, sometime in 6 to 9 months, it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. You see how the math adds up. But most of us don't want to give it that kind of time. We want to just go ahead and do it now. The other thing I would tie back on the database is what we call a 56 touch plan. So we have a system in place that touches our clients 56 times. It's a myriad of things. It's events, it's emails, it's postcards on our stats, it's phone calls by the agents. I mean, ultimately the agents have the relationship, so they've got to be talking to them. It's text messages. It's not that hard. Yet most agents go back to calendaring and they may build the system, but then they don't put it in their calendar. So then their days get ahead of them. They look back a month and they're like, I never called my database last month. Well, guess what? That's not going to work for you. So anyways, I hope that was kind of helpful for you today. I could spend 2 hours talking about this whole topic, yet I wanted to kind of keep it brief. So database, calendaring, lead sources, building your 56 touch, 36 touch, whatever you want to call it, right? However you're touching your clients throughout a year and having that built throughout the year. We're not going to do that. Most agents are just going to be like, oh, I'll talk to my clients when it's needed. Cool, let me know how that works. Everything has to be systemed, everything has to be documented, everything has to be scheduled. Those 3 basic steps work, and I see a lot of experienced agents at high levels that are still not dialed in on those things, and honestly, they're not very happy at their jobs. All right, thanks for tuning in today. So we talked a little bit about the basics. We'll expand on that in the future. We'll get into some deeper topics, but don't forget, if you want to reach out to me, it's thecalendly.com/Mike Nelson IHG. It'll be put down here below, and talk to me anytime, connect with me, put some comments in, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, and hopefully we have some conversations in the future to move your business forward. Thanks.